All right, well, everybody, welcome to the Omnitas Consulting webinar on Monday's native AI capabilities. So today we're going to look through some of the basic native AI capabilities that Monday has once you install or accept the AI component. So there we're going to look through some simple recipes, some cool new columns, and how you can build documents and how you can use it to enhance your formula column, and all of those things. The next webinar will be hosted by my colleague Fredrik, who will be using AI one step further. So this is for your basic capabilities, and the next one will be when Fredrik is going to the next level. So without further ado, let's jump into it. So on here we have my first example, which is basically a CSAT form submission. So this is for us to send out to a client where we ask them about the product they've tested, the submission date, feedback they would provide, how they would rate it. And then we're using AI columns to either get a translation in case it's in another language, or detecting the sentiment if it's, for example, in this case, the product is very bad, I don't like it, the AI automatically detects for us that it's a negative sentiment. Same thing here, I like this product, positive. Or in here, the product feels completely okay, but I'm not convinced yet, which would be a fairly neutral sentiment in my book as well. Then we're using the translate to get it back to English from whatever language they might have provided us with. We also have a summary of our updates that we might write on the item. And that's, when we get this CSAT score back, it might be something that we need to action internally. If we get a really poor review or you get a really good review, you might also want to, reward that person that provided you with the good input. So I've written some updates on here that are then being summarized in here for me. So we can see the topic, if there's a status, the participant in the discussion, and also like a proper summary of the actual conversation and when it was last updated. So let's create one from scratch just to show you how it could look. So Ludwig and I have tested one of their devices. I tested it, let's say, on the 5th. I'm going to write this in Swedish so we can see that the translation is working as intended. So basically I wrote a roaring good review. I'm going to make it a 10 as well. Submit. Thank you. Going back to the main table. So it put in my device, how I would rate it. And also, so the feedback is basically, I am incredibly satisfied with the product and will definitely buy it again. Thank you for everything. Now let's see. It won't summarize an update for us because we haven't actually done an update. But as you can see, he added the positive sentiment because it was a very good review. And it also used the translate properly. So how do we set this up? It's really not very complicated at all. So what we're going to do is we're going to create a new board. We're going to call it sentiment test, for example. Cool. We don't need the person column right now. We can use the status column, and let's customize it and say test 1, test 2, and test 3. We can use the date column. And we need a text column for this because basically the AI recipe for detecting the sentiment uses a text column. Otherwise, it won't have much of a sentiment to test. Hopefully in the future, they'll include, like you saw, I have that rating scale between 1 to 10. So you can include those conditions as well. But for now, we only have the text to go from. So let's rename that feedback. Cool. And I'm just going to search for more columns, and I'm going to go AI. And here we have either the translate, where detect sentiments, summarize updates, or a custom AI prompt where you can get it to do basically what you feed it, it can input based on the data that you have in your board. But we're going to use the detect sentiment. And right now we don't really have any feedback at all, but let's set this one up. So let's go in here. We need to set it up. So we're choosing the feedback column to actually be our sentiment, but right now we don't have any text, so it won't give us anything. But apply. So now it's been set up. So you see now that it's been activated, you have that little AI symbol on there. You can find it similarly up here on the board. You have the AI assistant as well. So this will tell you that AI has been activated. So what I'm going to do again is I'm going to add a form. And basically, we don't need to see the sentiment, so let's hide that. Otherwise, it's all good. So let's fill this in. Let's say that we'll do on the 7th. This was a very poor experience. I'm not satisfied at all, and I want my money back. Oh, this wasn't, it's supposed to be hidden. There we go. Let's go back, and boom. It will give you, let us know that this was indeed a very negative feedback. And of course, you can customize these and write if you want other measurements than positive, neutral, and negative. You can put others in there as well. Obviously, they need to be in the same ballpark so it can detect the sentiment, but somewhere around there, it's all good. Then similarly, we can use the translate like this. Here we go. And we want to translate from the feedback column. And you have all of these different languages to translate to. I think these are the official Monday supported languages, but it works best with English because it has the largest database. Like OpenAI simply works better with English. So in general, we want to translate it to that. So apply. Here we go. And the thing with these AI automations basically is they work best when you have some sort of trigger. So right now, because I just added it and this wasn't a new item added, it won't tell me anything. But if I go back to the form, we'll enter again, like so. Submit. So now I have put my text in Swedish. And now it's translating. I thought we could have seen more of the product. It seems interesting, but would have needed to see more. So here we go. This is one of those fringe cases. Is it negative or is it neutral? It's not that. It can't really tell that much of a difference, but it can still tell you in broad strokes if something is good, negative, or neutral. Cool. So moving on to the next type of basically recipes and settings that you can have is I've used a custom AI prompt to basically help me with some sales pitches for different products if they're new or existing. And I even used AI to help me create these 5 tasks basically. So here we have develop a smart home security system with telecom integration. I just added that as a security product. Let's make sure, let's do it new. I also have a date, so let's call this one release date, like such. And I've entered a text, which I would call keywords. So in here, I entered stay connected from anywhere in the world, get live feed updates, secure data backup, and state-of-the-art home security. And then it will take my text and didn't really expand on it too much. But we have our other ones where it's basically a telemedicine platform for remote healthcare services. So it's in medicine. And remotely connected for longer reach rural areas, SSO enabled for secure connections. So what it's telling me, then it's basically writing this out for me. Introducing a new medicine designed to revolutionize healthcare in rural areas. With remotely connected technology, we're extending our reach to provide essential care even to the most remote communities. Our SSO-enabled secure connections ensures that patients and healthcare providers can connect with confidence. Get ready for the launch and join us in bringing accessible healthcare to everyone. So obviously, these are not supposed to write your entire marketing campaign for you, but it's a good start if you're stuck or if you just don't want to put in, sit there and write everything out from scratch. Boom, you can take this, rearrange some things, add some more keywords and things like that, and it can write it for you. Also, this one we have with VR. So launch a virtual reality entertainment platform with high-speed telecom connectivity. So here I've written cutting-edge technology, augmented reality like you've never seen it before, zero lag, and massive FPS. So it's telling me, introducing the new VR experience. Get ready to immerse yourself in cutting-edge technology and experience augmented reality like never before. With zero lag and massive FPS, our VR product will revolutionize the way you interact with the digital world. It's telling me the launch date, and then be prepared to step into the future of entertainment and innovation. So you get a pretty good ground to start building out your marketing campaigns. And that's simply set up like this. So we have a custom action. We're choosing it because it's a custom AI prompt. And I basically told it, write me a marketing campaign based on which product from this column, and I've inserted that product column. So this, check if it's a new product or existing from this column, and it's checking this one. Build excitement for the launch on release date, and use keywords from the column called keywords to add even more flavor. So just like if you've actually used OpenAI, the more specific you can be and the more information you can give it, the more extensive the text will be. So if you're good at writing prompts, it can give you quite a lot of information. Same thing here. So instead here, I use an automation. So what we've done so far is that we've used the columns. Like I'm just adding these AI columns in here for these. And the custom AI prompt can pretty much do the same as the next one, but you also have automations. So I'm going to change the view. So write with AI. So this simple automation is basically when text changes, write with AI in a promotional tone, go in depth and insert into marketing text. So if I want to go and find more, I'm simply searching it for AI. Sometimes, there we go. Took a little time to load. There we go. So you have these ones that as soon as you have installed AI on your account, you will get access to these AI integrations as well. It's basically treated like an integration, but it is Monday native. So then we have improve text with AI, translate text with AI, categorize with AI, custom block, write with AI, detect sentiment, and summarize text. And then you have all of these different recipes depending on which one of these you want to choose. So in my case, I did write with AI. And then we can have, for example, when column changes, write with AI in a natural tone, keep it brief, and insert it to column. Or when item name changes, or when an item is created. So the one that I went with is when this column, so when text changes, so when something is input, write with AI in a promotional tone. So basically, I go in here and I choose the column that's changing. And in here, I have told it, so write a marketing snippet to be sent out to customers using the product from, and then I've used the product status. So I'm using a live column from the board. Tell them if it's a new or existing product from, and then we have new existing status. Tell them the release date from date, and then use the information in the post text 1. So the marketing text, in the text column, to populate the sales pitch. Then you can choose if you want a friendly, casual, natural, professional, confident, or a promotional tone, and even an empathetic tone. You can choose if you want about a sentence worth, up to 1 paragraph, keeping it brief, or go in depth. And then you choose which column that you want to insert it to. So I'm not going to update this because I haven't done any changes. So let's try and add a new one. So summer beach campaign. So the product in this case is, maybe not fiber. Let's do devices. It's going to be a new product. It's launching, say it's going to launch in June. New waterproof phone, perfect for the beach, useful for the whole family, stay connected anywhere, don't miss out on this awesome phone. And let's see it's worked its magic. So now I think I went too specific on these. So it's basically just using the text that I wrote. So yeah, I haven't really figured out the way between keywords, how to make it not only use that text I write and use like some of its own. So maybe we'll skip this last part, see if we get it better. Let's see if it runs. Yep, it's running the automation. Yeah, it's not giving me much now. But for here, for example, the one I did previously, it's filling it out a bit more. So I put in new blood analysis, remote connection to mainframe for instant diagnosis, even in remote areas. Needs a connection to Omnitas health systems to function, and reach out to a representative for more details. So here it put in a little bit more. So it's introducing our latest innovation in healthcare, the new blood analysis machine, cutting edge product with remote connection to the mainframe for instant diagnosis, even in remote areas. It's telling me when it's releasing, and the revolutionary machine requires a connection to Omnitas health systems to function. Connect to your representative today for more details, and be among the first to experience the future of medical diagnostics. So as with most AI, when you're using, even if you're using OpenAI, you might need to try it a couple of times to get out what you really want out of it. Any questions so far? Awesome. So we're moving on. So like I said on the automations, most of the functions that are available you've already seen from the examples provided. But you can simply go in here on templates and search for AI once it's been installed on the account. And you have these. So you also have the improved text with AI. So you can, let's say that you need to put in a brief, and you only have time to put in some short text because you need to rush over to the next project. You can use this one to basically enrich the text or make it even more concrete as well. One of the next cool features that we have is you can create to-do lists. And here is very much more open writing. So you go here, I click on AI Assistant, and I go to Task Generator. So let's see, what do I want to do? So now I'm choosing the group that I want to put these tasks in. So we have to do this week or to do this month. So let's start with to do this week. So give me a 10-item to-do list for marketing the new super cool Omnitas race car. It's the fastest. Actually, we don't need more than that. Obviously, I can give it much more to make it, to really narrow down the tasks that I need to do. But I'm just going to put it like that. So now it will create 10 to-dos of what it would think I need to do to promote this race car. So, for example, we have host a high-energy launch event for the Omnitas race car, create a buzz with teaser videos and social media campaigns, design and distribute visually stunning promotional materials, secure sponsorship for race car events and exhibitions, etc., etc. Cool. Add items to list. Thank you. So now I have my to-dos this week. This is a lot to do in this particular week. I'll tell you that. So what we can do is we can remove these, delete, and we'll go in and we go to do this week. Give me 10 items to do this week in regards to adopting inbox 0 for tidying up my email and increasing efficiency. Generate. So now I asked it, please help me become more efficient with my email setup by basically setting up the method of inbox 0. So now it's telling me create subfolders, set up specific times to check and respond, unsubscribe from unnecessary mailing list, use filters, delete old and irrelevant, prioritize emails based on etc., etc. So you can really build this long to-do list based on exactly what you tell it to do. So now I have these things in here to help me, and I can start actioning on them. And if you don't like something, simply delete them or rewrite them, use what you've already been given, and change it up a little bit. Cool. So the next one, one of the cool things that they've added is the formula helper. Now, if you're formula illiterate like myself, the formula helper is actually really, really good. So I've used for all of these that I have up in here, I have created using the formula helper. So I have 2 numbers columns here, actually 3. So we have a baseline spend, we have a forecasted spend, and we have an actual spend. And then I'm using formulas to get my forecasted savings and my forecasted savings in percentage and my actual savings based on the data input. Then I also have a timeline in here where I've asked it to calculate how many weeks are on this particular date range, how many working days are in this particular time range, and then how many of those are working hours for this particular date range. So how it works, let's create a formula column. like so. And you have this little helper here, the formula builder. Cool. So what do I want it to do? All right. So for example, just to do it again, please give me how many weeks there are during that, and then I'll do in caps timeline period. And let's see if it returns. So it will tell me, this formula calculates the number of weeks between the start and the end dates of the timeline period, taking into account the possibility that the period may span across multiple weeks. So it almost always gives you an explanation of exactly what it's doing as well. And like it says here, AI generated content may be inaccurate, so make sure to review it. So sometimes it simply won't work. Like you have too complicated of a formula, or something is wrong with maybe the setup from the beginning, or it simply can't get all the way. But it can a lot of times give you an idea of like, okay, so I need to think in these, along these terms. So let's copy that and let's paste it in. So if I just go ahead and add this now, it won't work because we don't have the actual timeline end and dates in here. So I need to change that. So bear that in mind. It seems to struggle to pick up the actual columns that you have in the board, but it will give you like, obviously here I know that I need to do the time, I need to do the end date, and I need to do the start date. So all that I will do is I'll get rid of this, and I will go into my columns, and I will go into my timeline, and I will do the end date because that was the first one. And on here as well, I will get rid of that one, and we'll do the start date there. Set formula. Nope. Oh, we have one too many of those. There we go. Set formula. Great. So now it's giving me the number of weeks in here. Weeks, new. And if I go in here and change from 1st of August to, let's say, December, it will change accordingly. Same thing with the working hours. So I just put in how many working days are, or how many working hours are based on your working days. And I asked it, and each working day is 8 hours. And it gave me a very simple answer, which is basically work days times 8. So it wasn't too complicated, but that's how easy it is sometimes. Same thing with the work days. It's taking the net work days, so it's basically excluding weekends, so Saturday and Sunday. So if you want to display Saturday and Sunday as well, you just take away net work days, and it will give you the same results. So for example, for the forecast savings here as well, I just asked it, can you give me the forecasted savings based on baseline spend and forecast spend? And it gave me, it's indeed a pretty simple formula, and you should know how to do it anyway. But you know, if you're having one of those slow days, you can just go in and let the formula builder do most of the work for you. And especially like when it comes to like financial reportings on a higher level, when you want to see over time and things like that, you can use the formula builder to give you to put formulas that you can put in charts, then to give you like over time, like expenses over a 3 period time and things like that. All right. So another thing that we can use the AI for, I have shown and talked about this before, but what we're going to do is we're going to create a document. We call it webinar test. And here we haven't really started yet, so it's basically a blank canvas. But if I press start with AI, you will also see the AI assistant up here. But start with AI. So I want to generate a template for, you have some things here like iteration planning or vacation plan, invoice. But let's see, let's do Q3 marketing summary and retrospective. So here we get what initiatives there were, key metrics and KPIs, successes and achievements, challenges and setbacks that we had, lessons learned, recommendations for Q4, and next steps. So it basically gives you, it just gives you that foundation to start building either reports or retrospectives or just quick reports that you can use instead of having to type all of this out by yourself. The same thing here, we have write with AI, and we can also summarize. So if I put in a bunch of text in here, so let's do one here, write with AI. Give me 5 marketing initiatives for the new Omitas race car. Those are not caps. Let's just do it like that. Cool. I'm going to copy all of that. I'm going to put it in here. Thank you. Like so. So now we have social media campaign, influencer partnerships, event sponsorships, interactive website content, limited edition merchandise. So it's giving me some really good ideas of how we can take this to the next level and really start, promoting the Omnitas race car. And then what I'm also going to do is after the next steps, let's do a summary. Let's make that into a medium title. I'm going to use the AI assistant again to summarize. We'll copy that, put in here. Whoops, that was the wrong button. And it will basically put a summary on everything that you have in here. If I started adding more things, just do the same thing and add on to it. So it's really about saving you a lot of time for the things that you do day to day, basically. And knowing Monday is just going to evolve and become even more intuitive. Like I know for a fact they're working on more things regarding detecting sentiments and such. So when you're using forms, especially for like CSAT capabilities and things, so that you can just collect way more valuable feedback, and without having to analyze it yourself, the AI will just do it for you. So really useful in that regard. Do we have any questions? No? All right then. Well, thank you so much for joining today. Don't miss out the next one where Fredrik is going to go through something way more advanced, how you can utilize not the native ones, but how you can utilize OpenAI with your Monday boards to really get out there when in terms of marketing and enrichment and things like that. Thank you so much. Have a great week. Bye-bye.